Hey, girl. I don't think I've gone live on this account. This is more like my personal account. So if you've been following me on here, make sure you head over to Hey Girl, it's Allyson here on Instagram. That is my business page / speaker page / women's empowerment page. But I still get on here. Well, not still get on here. I'm getting on here to talk to you guys too. So I wanted to talk to you about So this is my Hey Girl Bright Ideas Journal, and it's my baby because I made it from scratch. Let me not say from scratch. I had some help with a great program named Canva. So I wanted to get on here and just talk about the journal a little bit and talk about the inspiration behind it. So one thing I'm really big on is women's empowerment and, helping women to embrace who they uniquely are. So that includes your beauty. That includes how you see yourself, your self-value, your self-purpose. Not self-purpose, but your self-worth, your self-love. And so I get into that and I address that. But I also like to talk about your purpose, what you were put on this planet to do. And I think sometimes throughout life, we get all of these ideas and we don't know what to do with them because some of them seem random. Some of them seem like they're coming out of nowhere. So we either scribble them down really quick, we rip a piece of paper off from somewhere else and we try to scribble it on there, or we say to ourselves while we're driving or while we're sitting somewhere, "Ooh, that's a good idea, but I don't have no paper to write it down. I'm gonna write it down when I get home." And we never write it down. And if you're like me, you're a creative, you're a creator, you are a dreamer, and you're always coming up with something. I remember before I got married, I had this huge vision wall in my room, my bedroom, and I was living by myself. And every idea that I had, even if I only had a paragraph of what it was supposed to be about, I just typed it up really quick, printed it out, and I just put it up on the wall. But when I moved, I took it down and it never went back up. So I created this Bright Idea Journal for women, for us recording our visions and our dreams, because sometimes going throughout motherhood, going throughout being a wife, being a teacher, being a college student, we lose sight of what we want to do. We lose sight of our ideas. We forget them sometimes. And so when that happens, we don't always feel that same passion, that same zeal for life anymore sometimes, because we feel like we had to forget about them. So, and we can't, readily access the dreams and the visions that we've had or the ideas we've had because we've forgotten about them, because we've been going throughout life. So I created this so we don't have to forget about them anymore. You don't have to forget about your dreams, your passions, your visions anymore. You can write them down in one place. And when you're feeling low and when you're feeling like, you can't think of anything new to do, you're having a little writer's block or creator block, whatever you want to call it, you can always go back to this and reference this and pull those ideas back out. So I want to walk through it a little bit. So this is the cover. I'm really in love with it. I love this cover. And I copied it again. And then there's a little letter from me talking about why I created the journal, why I wanted you to have the journal. I call it the home for your bright ideas. And then I have a do's and don'ts page. Okay, so that's important because many times what we'll do, we'll buy a new notebook for a specific purpose, and then it ends up being used for a phone number we have to write down really quick, or it ends up being something we write down a recipe or a grocery list. We're not doing that with this journal. This journal is all about your ideas only. Your ideas only, not about anything else. Only your ideas. Okay? Because many times we keep using what's purpose for us for somebody else. What's purpose for us for something else. And it ends up just continuing to be used for something else. And when we don't have a designated space, we don't really have the time to sit and focus. So it's time to sit and focus. And then we have the inside. So it's two sides. I've cut this down for the 6x9. I'm going to release a physical copy coming up soon, so stay tuned. If you don't want to print it off by yourself, or you don't feel like going to a copy shop to have somebody print it off for you, a physical copy is coming, I promise. So the inside, you have a few pieces. Okay, so it has my bright idea, the date, so you remember when you came up with it, what the bright idea is, what the inspiration is. So sometimes you have to remember your why. Sometimes you have to go back within yourself and say, what made me think of that? Is it something random? Is it going to apply to my overall vision when I really start to implement that? Or was it just something I thought of off the top of my head? Maybe I could sell one day. Okay, so what is your why? What's your inspiration? And then the details. So I have some lines here for you to write. And then if you're like me, you really wordy, can write forever, I have another page for it. And then if you're more of a visual learner, or you like to articulate what you've learned or what you thought about visually, I've included this too, okay? So for me, I came up with another journal. I wrote the name of it, why I wanted to do it, the reason behind it, the driving force. And then I detailed what it would be, what I wanted to include over here as well. And then I drew a picture of it, okay, with the different pieces that I would like to have there. All right, so you just get 30 pages, front and back. The way that I've designed it is so when you download it, it immediately opens up flat. So it's not like the first page is on one side and then the back page is on the other. No, it's flat. So when you're writing in it, you can just write in it flat, or however you decide to download it. But I just wanted to take you on a walkthrough through it. On my website, if you visit the link, there's actually a free download of kind of a modified version of this. So if you don't really want to buy this right now, or you're waiting on the physical copy, you can actually get a free page if you go to my Shopify store right now. So make sure you visit that link, and I thank you for joining me.